If you're listening right now to the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we know something about you. We know that you're obsessed with Little House on the Prairie.
For more than half a century, Little House on the Prairie, the series and the books have been bright lights for people all over the world who seek out goodness, decency, and human connection.
Here on the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we celebrate everything that made Little House so special.
The stories, the characters, the actors, and the messages that have made Little House iconic family television.
And a perfect counterpoint to a world that feels like it's going off the rails every day.
Where is Michael Landon when we need him most? I'm your host, Pamela Bob.
And I'm your prairie bitch, Allison Arngrim.
And I'm Dean Butler.
Our hashtag imaginary boyfriend. Join us for our loving, quirky, and often irreverent conversations about the finest family drama in the history of television.
And the imperfect people who made it that way.
Presented by our devoted patrons and visit SimiValley.com.
Hi, Bonnet Heads. How's it going? This is Pamela Bob, your host, creator and star of Living on a Prairie, and superfan. I am here with our wonderful, lovely prairie bitch. That's right, Allison Arngrim, looking really en français, particularly today. Yes.
With
hair. And we're also here, you're looking particularly Francais too. Why not, Dean? Our hashtag imaginary. I didn't want
you just have to throw that in there.
You're eating a croissant or not? No, maybe.
No, I'm drinking coffee as always.
Coffee, if you have a cigarette, we're good. We're good. It's our hashtag imaginary boyfriend, Dean Butler. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Hey.
What's happened this week? Anything?
Well,
so much.
Yeah, no. You're still in France.
Yes.
Yeah, and I am in sort of midpoints between. So we're recording this before it drops, so we don't have to try and skate around time. Yeah. So I am here at my alma mater talking to freshman students this week about social media and about storytelling and
I'm laughing only
because they know much more about it than we do.
Yes.
Actually, based on yesterday's meeting, they don't. But
that's good. Well, no, I was laughing also because it was only maybe 2 years ago that you remember Allison being like,
about.
"Why do I?"
You were like, "What's on TikTok?" But you know,
you do have to.
It's amazing how fast you can turn it if you want to.
No,
I know
the stuff we're doing now. Because remember, I spoke in Ireland on a whole conference about social media, and it was social media and the power of nostalgia. I was like, yes, actually, we have now hit about a topic I know a whole heck of a lot about.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is we've discovered with the 50th anniversary of Little House, and you've exploded on Instagram and TikTok for a guy who was like, what's a who? Just a couple of years ago. And I, during the pandemic where I didn't even know what a Facebook Live was and suddenly was queen of the internet, overnight, we've learned so much quickly. And for people our age, it is astounding. And it is quite a thing that you would have to teach them.
It's just sharing the experience of what it has done and giving them the sense that there are certain rules. It's not even rules. There are things that you want to be mindful of as you are creating content in order to reach a target audience and to give them what they want and keep giving it to them. It's a relationship that you're creating. I mean, that's what this is all about, is creating a relationship. Yeah. So
it might be a dysfunctional relationship, but it's a relationship.
On certain days. So I think you want to be honest with people. You need to be authentic with people. You need to be consistent with people. I mean, things and all lessons that we've been learning as we go along.
Yeah.
It's like yes, I mean, it is a test and you see the results of doing it, but it's more than just throwing an occasional piece up. You have to be committed to it. You have to be involved in it. So, and you have to bring yourself honestly and authentically to it too. Right. So, that's all, these are things that we're sharing. People think that they can, again, you just can't throw something up. You do have to think about it and know what you're trying to say and what you're trying to reach and what you're trying to get people to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyway,
well, when
so
I
I'm
saw
here
that you were
doing
it,
that.
when I read you're doing it on social media, my jaw dropped. And then I thought, I'm very proud of him. He's come a long
He
way.
knows now. Oh, he knows now. Yeah.
Well, I know now primarily because of the the Gen Xer
Right.
Jennifer Brollier, who really has been just amazing with this. I'm just going to speak quickly about Jennifer for a moment.
Yes.
She's been remarkable for me, but she has also been, because of what she did for me, she was invited to provide the same service for the Little House brand for Friendly Family Productions. And she's involved in the social marketing for Netflix of the series. She has come a big distance here in doing this work. And I think just because she does it so fully and authentically, and she has such joy about the way she does it, that people get it.
Yeah.
And
also
I just couldn't be happier
fan.
for her.
Yeah.
She's a real fan.
Place. Yeah,
yes,
she gets it.
Yes, totally.
No, it's lovely.
Yeah, no, it is really nice. It is really nice. Well, we're going to talk about, now, Allison, so how many shows? We haven't done any shows since. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't started yet. Yeah, we're going to have 9 shows here. It's going to be good. And then come back and hit the ground running because I got, San Francisco and our fabulous. We're going to do our little show with all of us in New York. But then Dean and I are going to the Chocolate Expo in the middle of all this.
In Lincoln, Rhode Island. Yeah, in Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Was it Lincoln? Is it Lincoln, Rhode Island? And it's great. It's the big Bally's Casino Center event place. It's huge. It's huge. But yes, there'll be chocolate. Lots of
gambling and chocolate together.
Oh, man.
Now, I'm grateful that I'm not a gambler. I'm sorry that I'm a chocolate lover because it's going to be like...
Better a chocolate lover than a gambler.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree with that.
You never lose with chocolate.
That is
you only gain.
Lose. Yes.
And many things.
Gain.
Yes.
Right, and then after the Chocolate Expo, you guys will have your fill, and then come to New York.
Yeah.
November 22nd, our live podcast.
I'm wondering what shows I should try. Allison, when you try and see a show, we'll talk about it.
For a couple of days, we can see stuff. She'll know.
You need to go to TJPS and get some tickets. Yeah.
Oh, I know people. You know people too, right? I know people. We know people.
Why? I know Pamela, so I know she's right there.
Yeah.
So she can really help us with
She's a Broadway star.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean Pamela's a Broadway baby. Yeah.
Yes, Broadway star. I've seen her.
Anyway,
I've seen you on stage. Pamela, how many times have I seen you on stage? Because I saw you in, what was it, Hand to God.
Was I performing in Hand to God when you came, or was I just there?
I thought you were.
I might have been
the day I came. And then I saw you in that really stressful, upsetting thing, Cracked Open. Yes, with mother.
Stressful and upsetting for many, many reasons.
It was good. It was a very stressful and upsetting show. It was everything. It was like Little House on the Prairie. A lot of bad things happened in like one night.
I know, and now I'm understudying Emily Skinner in House of McQueen, and we just got our closing notice, which is very, very sad.
Boo! That sounded like a great way. House of McQueen. This will be a hit.
Luke Newton, I believe that's his last name. God, I'm terrible. Was starring in it as Alexander McQueen, and he's a big star from Bridgerton. So he was bringing, it's a 499-seat theater. It was full house every performance. And then his last performance was this past weekend, and I think his replacement is incredible. But when you lose a big celebrity, you lose a lot of ticket sales. And I think the producers went, I don't know if we can do.
They wanted the guy from Bridgerton.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the biz. It sucks.
Yeah. No, it is. It's totally the reality. Of working in that space.
But it's been a really joyful experience. So I'm very grateful to be a part of it, even if it was for a short stint. It'll still go on my resume. There we go.
Well,
let's
get into this.
Okay, listen, everybody, we're doing part 2. But before we get into it, From Prairie Partners and UBN Go, this is Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary Podcast. All right. Here we go. Last time we did part 1. Today we're doing part 2 of Days of Thunder, Days of Depression. No, that is not the title. Why do I have such a hard time with this title? Days of Sunshine, Days of Shadow.
Days of Tornado in this one.
Days of Tornado, Days of more depression. Days of when things get worse. Okay. Dean or Allison, what are we saying? What is it? Are we giving us
right? Well, okay. So I just want. So this is season 8, episode 18, Days of Sunshine, Days of Shadow, part 2, premiered on February 22nd of 82? 82, yeah. And it's a 1-hour episode written. Interestingly, in this case, we had a handoff in the relay race here. This went from Don Ballack in part 1 to Chris Abbott in part 2.
It seems so abnormal to have 2 different writers writing part 1 and part 2. Is that not abnormal?
I didn't really, I don't think we ever really saw that. I think it was generally one writer carried the ball throughout a 2-part episode.
Yeah.
This was interestingly sort of a longer, this was the first part was a 90-minute show. The second part, an hour show, but actually it was less than an hour because the recap is like 5 minutes long of part 1 to make sure that everybody knows how depressing it was if you missed part 1. Michael Landon,
of the era, because you couldn't just go, well, I'll just replay that episode that I have on my thing on the because that wasn't. You couldn't.
Right.
So
you needed the recap.
Yeah, you needed the recap. Yeah. And so it was directed by Michael. And I think he did a wonderful job with this. And,
as he always did.
Really good. Yeah. Yeah. Really good. So Allison, what is it about? As we move into part 2, what's it about? Yeah.
So much goes on in this thing here. Okay. Well, because there's like they haven't had enough problems. There's a tornado. There's a tornado because things were going so well.
Starts off right away.
Which levels the house and apparently damages nothing else in all of Walden Grove. There's not a tree down and the road. No. The house, the Ingalls are right up the street.
The Ingalls house is fine.
With the barn. It didn't take out the barn, just the house. Now, that can happen in tornadoes. They do jump around, but it is weird that like nobody else in town mentions the tornado. It's like what tornado? When Mrs. Olson doesn't say yes, there's no scene of Nels going, we got to get a lot of nails and boards out or the mill set because of the tornado that damaged many homes the other night. No, just their house, So there was a tornado only at their house.
I noticed that too. That's
and
in my notes.
Almanzo at this point decides he's better off dead. Suicidal ideation right here on the Prairie. Very serious. He's really, really depressed. He is now talking about it. And it's cool. He doesn't say he's going to do it, but he does say, I've prayed to God. I don't even want to be here. I prayed to God that perhaps I should just.
If there's really a God in heaven, he'll let me die.
Yes. He'll let me die.
What a line. Jeez Louise.
It is amazingly the resilience of a geranium plant, which is true. You can't kill those things.
The hero of the episode.
His love
for geranium.
Yes, that lights back the path back to life, love, and happiness. And then, or something you would write yourself. Previously on Days of Sunshine, Days of Shadow, part 1, manly, pouted Laura persevered. True. In part 2, after the tornado levels their house, Almanzo wishes himself dead until a resilient geranium plant starts him down the path to reclaim himself. And it's true. Have you ever tried to kill a geranium? You can be the worst gardener in the world. The geraniums are always still alive.
I love how the geranium is like taking center stage as the main character.
I love the geranium. It's a big deal at the end of this. It's all about the geranium. It's insane. Inspired by his love for Laura, he rises from his wheelchair, learns to walk again with Charles by his side, rekindles his dreams as he builds a house for Laura and his new daughter Rose, and apparently that black cat that is not freaking going away. In the end, Manly earns back his nickname, proving that even after illness, despair, and some world-class Prairie whining, resilience, and a half pint he refuses to give up. yes, can bring the light back to Walnut Grove.
Wow.
Yeah, he does. He makes the comment, but it's about the freaking plant. That plant is a major.
It's
It's like a
true. It's
character. It's a
amazing.
character in the thing.
I mean, the geranium gets the last shot in the episode.
Uh-huh.
He gets the last
geranium.
shot.
The
About the damn geranium.
inspired monologue after seeing this little geranium plant is of epic proportions. I literally watched watch you do the monologue, which you do very, very well. But I was like, oh, we're just going to say it out loud. We're just going to speak everything. There will be no subtext here. We are saying it. We are speaking it out. It is going to be very clear what this geranium represents. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, true.
Said about Little House the on the nose thing.
On the
where
nose.
it's like,
So
yes,
on the nose. I
yes,
wasn't mad
yes,
about
yes,
it. It's
is.
just like, oh, there is no innuendo. We are going
No.
to
We
say
do
what this
symbolism.
means.
We do symbolism, but it's not subtle. They go, look, it is a symbol for the thing that is happening here. They just tell you.
Dean, how did you feel about part 2?
Well, obviously, things turned in a more optimistic direction. I mean, everyone's keeping secrets from Laura throughout this. No one's telling her anything. She has to, because she is wallowing in her own sense of despair. But I think what I felt happy about as I see part 2 is more of the flavor that we established this character with was invited back by a view of his life that was going to be a little more optimistic. And then you just have to get it done. I think for this, I think it was nice working with Michael so closely throughout this. That's, for any of us who were on the program to have an opportunity to do scenes. It wasn't like they were like super, and Michael's either just listening and makes a comment. He makes, Michael makes cryptic comments. He makes the sort of the payoff comments in these scenes. But I love doing the learning to walk scene again with him. I liked that because it had a certain physicality to it, which I really enjoyed. And then, at the end of the episode, the scene getting up out of the chair and walking to Laura, I think is probably the favorite piece of film that I have with the work that I've done. I love the way Teddy shot it.
Yes.
I love the way David Rose scored that moment. Love the back and forth with Laura and Almanzo, and that she was wonderful in that scene as this is rising.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Was just simple. It was simple and honest, and I just love the way it played. I have been that's just really a favorite moment of mine captured on film.
It's the crying moment. It's the moment where the audience bursts into tears. With the shot of the house. When she gets no, I can't look, don't look. And it's just the house and the music and Amanda's there. That's when the whole audience goes, and then you get some. That's the crying moment. I went, here it is. And you said about seeing Almanzo's spirit again and Laura's too. I mean, that's the thing is that I think in the first one, I was like, wow, this is really going on because you're being so pitiful and mopey and pouty and terrible and negative. But Laura, too, her way of acting out is to just be, and get all shrish. And they both kind of come back, is that as soon as Almanzo shows a hint of life that he might get up, the Laura we know comes back, and she's not just bitching endlessly. She's like, okay, well, maybe what? And I mean, she gets like genuinely mad when they do just as we had Eliza Jane going, I guess maybe I should have discussed moving with you. Now they lied to her. She found the house trashed, comes back, goes, when were you going to tell me? I guess we should have told you. This is the running theme in this episode where people do really blindingly stupid things and don't do.
Right. No, that is interesting. I'm going to say just between she and I in this one, I really felt, I felt like you could see that these two people loved each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
At the end of this. And I think that was a really, really nice moment. I think Melissa had a very nice maturity in that scene.
I kept thinking she's only 17 doing these episodes. That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I believe there was a woman there. when I
Yes.
watched her in that. And there was something about the way her body language was wonderful, the way she used her hands, the way she embraced, the way all of that was really pretty terrific. And then you have David Rose doing what he does there, and then you're really feeling like the tears, just that little tear forming in your eye, because it's just really sweet and it's loving. I really like that.
Well, when we get to the end of the episode, in that moment where you stand up in the chair, I will tell you how, as a viewer, how that impacted me, and probably millions of others. Okay, let's take it from the top of the episode.
We're starting off, again, more negative, snotty people, the people who come to look at the place. Again, Eliza Jane showing the place. She's bad at this. The terrible people look at it. They're terrible. Everybody's terrible.
Yes.
The cat is on the counter again. Get the cat off why is the cat on the counter again? And we've now established it's a stray. We don't even know where it's from. It's been in the barn with mice and cats. It's on the counter. No, why is the cat on the counter? Horrifying. And then the tornado, leave the cat, take the baby. That was good. She did not leave the baby and run for the cat, which I thought she was actually going to do at one point. I was like, no.
She did leave the baby. I mean, she took the baby and put it in the
and
cellar.
then left the baby. But she left the baby in the thing. And it got very Wizard of Oz. When she doesn't put herself in the shelter, you totally saw it. You saw it.
Yeah,
she
totally.
goes to the shelter, NEM. She's going to get in the thing. And then doesn't. And goes upstairs, and it's the same shot of the bed and the drink. And I'm going, and it's Dorothy.
It is.
And it's Dorothy.
Totally. It is.
And if David Rose is doing the music, who was married to Judy Garland, etc., why is David Rose not cranking it? Working in a
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Why did we not have some Wizard of Oz music? We should have had some Wizard of Oz music.
Okay, not only that, but the way that she grabs that damn cat from under the bed is so intense. Even as a kid, I was like, oh my God, the cat. Okay, but then this is why I have beef with cats. This is why I'm not a cat person. Because, so she saves the cat. She runs out of the house. She gets knocked out by some flying object in this tornado, right? Dorothy, totally Wizard of Oz. She's passed out, and the cat's like, see ya. Right? Cats are assholes. This is why I don't like cats. If that was a dog, they would be standing there licking you, trying to wake you up. Like, they wouldn't leave your side. A cat was like, see ya. I don't care that you just saved me. I'm out.
I love cats, but I would have left the cat because cats are smart. The cat would leave. The cat is not going to die in a tornado. If the house is falling down, that cat will be long gone. The cat will bail and run to safety and find a place. Do you see a lot of cats hanging from trees?
No, there is no loyalty with that damn cat.
But the cat would have been fine.
I just don't understand why the cat. I just the cat is sort of
the cat so that she could get knocked out because it was just a device.
All right. So you're establishing all of this affection for the kid just so you can get that knockout moment.
Yes.
Okay.
And the cat keeps popping up. The cat's like the damn geranium. It's everywhere, coming through doors and under things. Like, what is this cat? What is this? The
cat is like the ghost of diphtheria future or something. I don't know what it is. But cats are assholes. Let's establish it now. This cat was a jerk.
She didn't save the chickens. Why didn't she do anything? The chickens were going to take a hit in the tornado.
The chickens are done.
The cows, but no, the
chickens are done. Meanwhile, next scene, the mercantile, the little house, perfect condition. No tornado around them.
No, what?
It's
no,
so
just
weird.
And then at one point, why is it all happening to them? And I actually yelled out, because Mary's not here. This would all happen to Mary Ingalls.
Because Melissa Sue Anderson left the show. What else are we going to do?
Oh, my God.
All bad things happen to Mary. Oh, she's gone. You get it now.
But sometimes I bet this episode was, I wonder whether Melissa Gilbert was daunted by this episode or whether she was like, oh yeah, I get to do this stuff. Like, I wonder whether she loved the challenge, that to go
I think she did.
So far.
I think she did.
Yeah, and she did such a good job. Again, I cannot believe she was a teenager doing this because that is cuckoo bananas. She did great.
I think so too, actually. She really brought whatever young woman she had, she brought it. And
Yep.
there was a maturity about what she was doing that was, and sort of there was a sensuality about what she
Yeah.
was doing too in certain moments that was really unexpected. And that those moments were always downplayed. Generally you did not want that, but I was thinking, her in the previous episode when she comes to his bed,
She wants
he
to be with
doesn't,
her
he
husband.
can't
I
have it.
know.
She's doing they've written her in a very human way, and she fulfilled that moment.
Yes, agreed. Totally
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Now,
so
where's the town? This is why I also knows people who
Oh yeah.
disappeared. Okay, so Eliza Jane does teach. She does teach. She does take the teaching job, but
She did do
thank
that.
God.
Yeah.
we don't
Jeez.
see her. We finally see her coming out of the school with the kids. So we go, okay, I guess she did show up there, because normal world, we would have seen her in the classroom. And then they go to the restaurant, but we never go into the dining room and see the customers. Like I said, it's a claustrophobic episode. Everything is pulled in to just
Yeah.
focus on them, because we go to the restaurant, but we don't go in the dining room, only in the kitchen with a few
There's
people.
nobody
And
there.
where's Hester Sue? Where's all the other people who've like worked
Well,
with
and
Chef
before we
Carol and just
started before we started recording, you were like, "Where's Reverend Alden?" It's so weird
where's
that
Reverend
he's
Alden?
not in either one of these
Wouldn't
episodes. And you're
in
right.
in this crisis, in all this, and people talking about wanting to
Yeah.
die, and wouldn't they go get the Reverend
Yeah,
Alden
the fact that
stat? He would
didn't
have been
have
there for
yeah,
this.
it's so interesting that
Nobody
they
Could have been
said,
a
didn't
really
write.
nice
unlike
scene.
Eliza
Yes.
Jane, no, we see, no, in their school, no, we don't see, no. And like I said, the out of character things, again, it's, as you always say, it's serving the episode. Pa would have freaking told her about the house fire. There's no way. The others all going, don't tell her about the house. It'll be the house fell down. Pa would have said, Half Pint, come here. I'm really sorry, but the tornado, your house, it's gone. It's gone. He would have sat her down and said, the house took a hit. I'm really sorry. Pa would have told her.
I understood them not wanting to tell her just waking up from being unconscious and being. I get that, but to not tell her, period, is
Like ever.
like
Until he accidentally leaves and goes,
But you need that moment. I described it as sort of a Scarlett O'Hara moment, as she's throwing the boards at the window and
yes,
she's just like breaking down.
freaks out.
There were some really nice sort of cinematic references. We talked about the Judy Garland moment or the Wizard of Oz moment. I think that moment where she's throwing things, that I don't know, she just reminded me of Scarlett O'Hara in that moment. That moment felt like that kind of desperation
Tara
and despair. Tara, yeah, exactly.
And
I don't know if she ever broke up Tara, but yeah.
Poor Grace, who gets the brunt of all of
They
it.
make Grace toddles home. How far is it from their house to the little house? And is Grace like, what, 1.5? I gotta like,
Yeah.
Grace was probably 4.
Does she know how to get home? She knows the way.
She better, because she ran, and
She will now.
I can never separate myself from the physical distance that we know those sets are from each other at Big Sky. They probably were, the way it was written, nothing was that far away from itself. But the little house, in fact, you're talking about a mile and something. And that's not just a quick little run home for baby Grace.
Yeah. And she's a toddler, and it's like a mile away. And there's I hope it's not really supposed to be as far as it actually is at the ranch, because I wouldn't make a toddler walk that distance. That seems wrong.
Yeah.
So there's lots of kooky stuff where it's like, well, we're just gonna not pay attention to it. That didn't happen.
Yeah. So let's go back for a second, because Laura does find out, because she decides,
she
I'm
goes
gonna go
there.
clean my house and
Clean the house, yes.
So she takes baby Grace and has a total meltdown when she sees her destroyed house, goes crazy. Right. Grace is like, I'm out. She's like the black cat. See ya. She runs away. Yeah. And then we're back in the little house, and they're like, we wanted to tell you, but we didn't. And then she says, I have a... What does she say about the plate? They're the bread
yes, we
plate.
have a baby.
We have a
because
we have
the
a
bread
baby,
plate
a
is
cat,
the only
and a
thing,
plate.
That's right, because the plate is the only thing that survived that tornado in perfect. I don't know how it survived. It's a glass bread plate, but whatever. But it survived. And then She got so mad, she breaks the plate. She smashes it to the floor. And my reaction is, that's Ma's personal memento. Don't break the plate. That meant something to Ma. No.
It's also the only thing you have besides that stupid cat that isn't even yours. So, like, maybe you should keep the plate.
The plate will come in handy.
I think what all this says to me is that, because no one's watching these things originally and doing this kind of logical breakdown. This takes, takes some
logical,
perspective.
Though, that's giving us a lot of credit.
Yeah. Well, but I think what it tells you, or what it should tell all of us in the creative space, is that if you do it fully, if you commit to the choices that you make, the show tracked. I mean, the show absolutely tracked. It's bizarro in some ways, simply because it's so outside. No community, no Reverend Alden. Tornadoes hit one house, nothing else is touched. Caroline rightly asks, "How can this all be happening to them?" I mean, fair enough. But you just, when you're watching it, you accept these things. That these sort of out of character things, because you're just in the story. We are examining and poking all the holes. That Allison, you're brilliant at finding these things that just don't make sense. But as you're watching it, don't think about it.
Hadn't watched it in a billion years and sat down and went, wow, this does really pull you in. And when you do, you start crying. But then there's something, wait, what the heck is going on? Wait, where is he? And I still want to know, when Doc Baker prescribed Laura nerve tonic, what's in the nerve tonic? Is it mostly alcohol? I don't know, but what's in the nerve tonic?
I think that's what
we lost Pamela. Did she freeze?
Oh, she did freeze. Okay, she'll
froze.
Yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back.
I should tap on my screen.
Could there have been? I mean, what else could be in nerve tonic? I mean, it wouldn't be more. It wouldn't be more. There could be some opiate. There could be some opiate in that nerve tonic.
Often there's a lot of booze to settle you down. There might be with laudanum, but that was like heavy drugs usually. I probably wouldn't be that with him. There was a lot of herbal stuff, I guess, sort of like today's version of have some magnesium. There was like root of things. So there was probably that kind of stuff, nerve tonic. But generally, if someone was wigging out that hard, things like alcohol and laudanum and morphine, would find their way into those things.
Sure. I remember watching, the Kevin Costner Wyatt Earp, and I'm sure you've seen that, and what the wonderful actress who was the lover that he was never going to marry, but was just so depressed because he had found the saloon girl. And was just like living on laudanum. I mean, it was just out all the time. Yeah, we did not see Laura. Laura just took Laura got the edge taken off. She wasn't. Yeah,
we never see her drinking out of that thing. But and we've seen the episodes where like Mrs. Olsen got into the patent medicines and got drunk, because it was all alcohol. So it's like Geritol of its day. I don't know what. Doc Baker is probably a decent one,
Interesting.
Sleeping.
I think if it had been Harriet, we would have seen the consumption. With Laura, we were not going to see the consumption.
With Laura, we don't. It was like melatonin or something.
Yeah, she may have been, sipping it quietly in the corner, but we're never going to get a chance to. We don't want to see Laura having to medicate to cope.
And she might fight against that. I mean, it would have been a whole scene of nerve tonic. What do you mean, Doc Baker? Give me nerve tonic, and like gotten mad and like said, "No, you're not giving me that." So now now Pamela's gone dark, which means I guess she's coming back from the freezing.
I'm sure she'll come back. Yeah, I'm sure she'll come back.
She'll be back. We did see the post office lady. We don't get Reverend Alden, but we get Ruthie, our friend Ruthie, who we love. Ruthie in the post office
delivering mail. Yeah.
Now, the job description, I was a little concerned. Remember, I said, when she said a job, like what job in an office is Almanzo going to do? But the job offer that crazy Eliza Jane finds is selling farm equipment and fixing farm equipment. And then it talks about writing about the latest trends in farm equipment. I'm like, no, Almanzo's not doing that. But I went, okay, he could do that.
Well,
that would be a thing.
He could do that. Yeah, I think that's the kind of thing that, clearly, look, he could read, he could process information. He was raised if we go outside the realm of the show to how Almanzo was raised, he would have been perfectly capable of doing that job. That just wasn't his dream. He was a guy who wanted to be with horses and be a farmer, and that was going to be his life. And when you see the pictures of the real Almanzo, this just salt of the earth guy, you totally believe that was his life. That's what he wanted to be.
Were very well educated. When you read Farmer Boy, you go, no, these people weren't bored. And he was being taught things and stuff. But selling horses actually would have been his job.
That he would have loved that.
If he taught him a job at the stable selling horses, he would have been like on it.
And what happened to the horses?
I know, you never hear about the horses ever again.
Did they get killed in the tornado? Because, we lost the crop in the hailstorm, and we lost the house.
And the crop that was never planted.
No, but he says
it's never planted.
That we're going to breed for more horses, and which Almanzo knew how to do, because I've read Farmer Boy and all about, he could breed horses and sell the foals. He's all over it. That was total Almanzo stuff. But where are they? Did they die in the tornado?
He mentions it
within
within the first minute of episode 1, and then we never hear about them again.
No,
because if they didn't die, then they're not broke, because they could sell those freaking horses for a lot of money. Just saying.
I mean, did they ever have the horses, though? Because we never saw them, and it was never talked about.
They arrived, and then we never saw them.
That's right.
We saw them let in on camera, and then.
It's so interesting. And it just Michael did not concern himself with that kind of detail.
And you know what? As a kid, you don't care about it either. It's just now when you're rewatching.
You didn't think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't care.
It was. He didn't want to have to own that and pull that thread through. Now, he chose to pull the thread, or Chris Abbott did, the geranium thread. That was going to be the thing. Yes. I mean, it would have been much more compelling if it had been a horse thread. But the geranium where we use the first time we see the geranium, he's splinting it up in the bedroom, and it's it's not coming back, and so on. And then he has his epiphany moment. Where he realizes he was over caring for it. He just needed to leave it alone, and he puts his whole life together again in that one speech.
God bless that geranium.
I have to say, when he goes into the whole thing about I was overdoing it, that I was all it needed to be left alone to heal, and I was like, and he's right. And he's right. And that's what he's trying to tell Eliza Jane. Sometimes you leave people alone. Give them a couple of days. It's yes.
I think so. He puts his life back together again, and now we are in the race for the finish. Let's take a break right here, and we'll come back and build a house.
We were going to come back and build a house, everybody. We'll be right back.
The Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary podcast is presented in part by visitsimivalley.com. In the movie and television capital of the world, Simi Valley is the television home of the OG Little House on the Prairie television series, and people come to Simi Valley from all over the world to feel the Little House love. Simi Valley is the home of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, celebrating the legacy of an iconic American who embodied the can-do spirit of California. Visit Simi Valley, a warm, friendly community that knows how to make their guests feel welcome. Accessible and affordable, Simi Valley is a great place to live and a great place to start your next California adventure. Simi Valley is hometown America in the Los Angeles Basin. For more information about your Simi Valley visit, go to visitsimivalley.com.
Oh, we have to talk about Lucy Lee really stealing the show in this episode. A couple of her scenes, she's so good. I went, Lucy Lee is stealing the show right now, because this is when she confesses that she overdid it in the whole thing, and that I made it about me. Yes, she confesses to the whole thing, is crying. It's just like, she's really good in this.
Well, she's got a plan, and it's all now at this turning point moment. Now there's suddenly an opposition, and so you're going to have to deal with that. And now the secrets are being kept from Eliza Jane.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah. Now,
Turn 'em out.
Ooh.
Turn 'em out.
so now Laura doesn't know what's going on, nor does Eliza Jane. And he doesn't really, no one wants her to really know because it's not part, well, it saves that moment when she discovers and has this wonderful breakdown. But Michael did this kind of montaging throughout the show where throughout the life of the series and it's a very common practice where something good is happening. There's progress being made. When first time we saw the house being built in Harvest of Friends, there is this montage of Pa building the house by lamplight, by moonlight, by, all hours of the day. So this is this moment building this new house for Laura and Almanzo and the two guys teaming up to do it. And it's the smiles and the optimism and, look at this. Everything's happening. And I think the audience loved these moments because you're advancing a lot.
Yeah.
You're able to advance a lot of material in a very short amount of screen time. And you're making progress towards that moment that you really need to pay off.
Yeah, and you know what? You say something that is so like, where you said, I wanted to. I'm paraphrasing, but you said something like, "I wanted to die, and now I want to live more than ever."
Right.
And it's just, oh, you're really quite beautiful in this, Dean. You're so simple, but so full, and that I don't think people realize how difficult that is to do. To make your performance so simple is the wrong word, but because it means I don't equate that to easy. I just mean simple. You're not adding anything to it, right? It's just there. It's just there with nothing added on top. But in order for that to work, it has to be filled with something emotionally without pushing the gas pedal, right? And you do that so effortlessly. Has that always been effortless for you? Was that something you had to build up to? Because that is hard to do.
I don't know that I can really speak to that. I think what it comes down to, which is if there's an investment in the circumstance, emotionally, an investment in the circumstance, then I think that kind of simplicity maybe just happens more organically. It's just you're vested in what this person is going through, what your character, what your life is in the life of this script. And I know that Michael Allison, we both knew this from working with him. And I think particularly with these, you and Harriet had, you and Catherine
They could
McGregor
be more
had
theatrical.
you had permission to go anywhere. But I think that I don't know how to describe the delineation between, because we're all characters in this, but maybe we are as the characters that are supposed to be more relatable, perhaps in a real life sense. I think he did not want a lot of craft going on.
Yeah.
Simple.
Very
so simple.
Even with Nellie, if you think about some of the worst things I said or did, it was like, just drop it and stand there.
Right.
I would
Nothing
say
added
things,
to it.
ones, where I was just, country girls. Don't do anything.
Right.
Right.
As a 12-year-old, just like filled with evil.
Yeah, and so there were many times where I would just turn around and say stuff and go, da-da-ba-da-ba. And like, let's just drop this on your foot, say this terrible thing, and stand there. And that happened a lot. And it was just the sheer, direct, simple. Just if you have several choices, take the one where you're not doing really much, just direct. And that was the thing, is Michael wanted simplicity. Like you said,
no acting,
you were told,
please.
don't act, no acting around here. And even with the crazy stuff, it was like, can you deliver it just deadpan, straight out? And
it is a real skill to be able to do that. I really don't think people realize how difficult it is to do that, to quote unquote not act while you're acting. And you have to do it on camera, because if you did a performance that you would do on stage on camera, it would be ridiculous. Even though on stage it translates as honest, on camera it translates as acting.
Oh my God!
And it's so that's the difference between stage acting and film acting. Film acting and
acting is in the eyes.
Is that
in the
exactly? And on camera, you have to pare it down so it's here, right here, like a little pin drop. And it's a hard skill to do.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing I think that helped that moment. I think if that had been, just as an example, I don't know why it would be this way, but if that had been the one scene in the show, there might have been out of in some vacuum where there's just, I don't know what that would be. But if you feel like you've got to like hit a home run with one swing of the bat, there is an inclination to do more. I think that I'd had so much to do that was emotionally based that it made it simpler to be simpler.
That's really interesting.
I think if it had been the one scene, I think there would have been, knowing me and my inclination towards working in a little bit of a hammy way at times, certainly on stage. Now, my wife, Catherine, always says it's good ham. It's not bad ham.
Yeah.
But
it's smoked ham. It's honey ham.
She said it's good ham. It's not spam. She says.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I think it was the amount of work and the full tracking of the story that made it possible to be simpler.
Now, would Michael Landon, were there times where Michael would come to you after a take or so and go, do less?
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was his big direction to me, is always less.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking purely as an actor right now. Sorry if this is. Yeah. I don't think this would bore the audience, but this is definitely like I'm doing technical actor talk right now because it's really fascinating to me. But do less.
Yeah, always less. That was
I had so many conversations with Catherine McGregor, but it didn't work.
Yes, Catherine was pouring the gasoline on, and Michael was wanting to turn it off and take it away.
It worked for her.
It totally worked for her.
Yeah.
What?
I love her so much.
I know I told this little story, but. Michael did come up to me at one point and say, you need to decide who you're going to listen to on this show. It was really, for me as a sort of someone who was a sponge for information at that point.
You were so young.
I was just looking for information. And that's what it was. But he knew, he could see what was happening. And so when he was directing me, it was always less. At one point, he had me sit on my hands. I remember in a close-up, he said, just sit on your hands, get your hands out of this. And it quieted the face. That sitting on the hands quieted the face.
My gosh, could you imagine if he would teach like master classes, or could you imagine being in a Michael Landon master class, acting class? Like, holy moly. And by the way, I would also do a Catherine McGregor masterclass as well.
Yeah.
Totally different. It would be
totally.
opposite
And
ends
totally different.
I don't actually.
Yeah.
I would sign up for both of them.
I would sign up for both in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Especially when I kept complimenting Melissa. I keep complimenting Melissa Gilbert on these episodes, and she does a great job. And then
she does.
Every time I would think, God, she did a great job. And then I would think, well, yeah, Michael Landon she's been in Michael Landon acting class since she was 8 years old.
Yeah. Now we start talking about good actors. Okay, in this episode, Lucy Lee, Eliza Jane,
again, master
steals the show. She has two scenes in this where I just went, oh my God, that's right. She's a genius. I forgot that. Yes, hello,
genius.
hi. Wow, where she comes, because she cops to everything. Where she said, yes, and it's like, well, you meant well, you weren't trying to coddle him. Yeah, I was. Yeah. No, I was totally making it about me. I was totally hoping you wouldn't get better.
First, she comes to the house. She sees Almanzo. He is standing. He's getting better, and she is devastated, and it is so
You can't get better.
messed up. I mean, it is truly messed up how upset
And
she
you
is
see
that her
her,
brother is
oh my
better.
God, it's my baby brother. Of course I
know.
don't want him in a wheelchair. Of course I want him to be better. Why are you better? No, stop
Because
being
because it's
better.
ruining her life and
plan.
her plans and her purpose. I mean, she made her purpose now
Job.
back to taking care of him and oh, it's just so deep. I mean, it is so psychologically crazy.
And she comes right out. Like, basically, she is weak and that she wanted something that was going to give her validation and fulfill her and be her life's work. And now what am I supposed to do? But like when she was like, but I get the job. I get the job. It was like, really good job. And it's just like, oh my God.
I mean, her plan was not a bad plan of them moving to.
It was a good job.
And she got him a desk job. Like, she got him a job. She's fulfilling her part of their moving.
Yes.
And
you
it could have
feel
worked
bad
out.
because you wanted to hit her in the first episode because she was this busybody from hell. And in this, you go, she had it.
It's so awful. And then Pa's like, I think you wanted him in the chair. I think you like it's hard.
That's what I was thinking. Like Pa delivers like
the truth bomb hard.
The truth bomb. Right.
And I thought,
Right.
this is gonna make it awkward for family functions from now on, because that is wow, that's a little brutal. True, but brutal. Christmas ain't gonna be as fun anymore.
Well, technically, Almanzo do owe her a debt of gratitude because although she was overbearing and she's now copping to, yes, this is all about me, that she did get him to eat when he wasn't eating. And for him, Laura was like too close. Her strength feeding was like, no, I don't want my wife feeding me. So she could get him to eat, which they did need. And she was doing things at the house that they did need done. They prefer she'd have gone and gotten it, but she did get him to eat, and she was taking care of him, and there was stuff getting done. Like she was, and she had they wanted to move, she had the place and the transportation, was paying for everything, and got him a job. So
not a bad deal.
Yeah, so kind of like thank you, but so she wasn't completely awful, but she does cop to everything, and then they don't invite. Then like they have lunch and don't tell her.
So that's right. More secrets. They don't invite her to lunch.
Yeah. So
I told you it would make things awkward at family functions. Yes.
Yes. Well, Lucy has this wonderful gift of empathy and likability, and she's so sweet.
Eyes.
Even her in her devastation, she's so lovable.
Oh my God.
She's so lovable.
Because you see where it's stemming from. She's not a malicious person. You see it stemming from love and pain.
She admits to everything.
Yeah. And then she admits to everything, which is incredible. Yeah. And then they invite her back to lunch.
And the sneaking the humor in, there was a great moment like, okay, we talk about Michael, how there was always something I show humor even when things are painful, because in real life, when everything's gone to hell and you're crying, you still kind of go, well, it could be worse. Yeah, there is humor. Humans do it. And when Almanzo is explaining that, look, we're going to be poor. We built this much of the house. And Laura, who's just totally losing her mind that this has happened. This is totally, oh my God, wait, now the house is gone. Now the house is here, and having mental whiplash. And now he's up, and what is even going on? And then he says, well, we'll be living in one room. And she goes, yeah, I'm kind of used to that.
I can do that.
Before. I'm used to that. We'll have to go get the water. Yeah, I did that. And you can see she starts almost laughing. The whole thing of like, it is called Little House on the Prairie. We did see the first 2 seasons. Yes, I did that. And it's kind of like, oh, how adorable. And that's a Michael thing, to have the crying and then to have the
sure.
One room in there.
Have you noticed how we jump all over the place as we talk about these episodes?
We do.
We do.
I try and wrangle it back and get back in order.
I know. But no, so we jumped to the end, and now we're coming back to talking about the rising at the sort of that the finality, or the what's the right word? I mean, it's the happy moment. It's the climax. It's the happy moment. It's things are going to be better.
So beautiful.
Yeah. No. I said how much I love that moment, just because I just love the way it played with all the elements involved in it. I mean, this is where the teamwork of this work. I mean, okay, there's going to be the actor in front of the camera that's going to do the work, but what the actor doesn't see is how Ted Voigtlander puts a 400 millimeter lens on you, so you get this beautiful compression shot behind you, and you don't know as you're doing this scene that David Rose is going to wring your heart out with this, starting with this piano, very simple, gentle Almanzo's theme on the piano, and then build it into this orchestral, beautiful, tender, loving. I mean, it just brings everything together. It is team sport. It's always team sport. And, everyone just has to do their job. Because I can't mean as the actor, unless you're Michael, who's doing everybody's job, knows everybody's job, who can do everyone's job. But most of us just have to stay in our lane and focus on what we're supposed to be doing. And everyone does this well. And it leads to this wonderful effect, this wonderful emotional catharsis coming together at the end. And because everyone did their job.
Oh, and I mentioned in the beginning, I would talk about this part when we got to it. Yeah. The beautifully, beautifully shot scene of when Laura sees you stand up for the wheelchair. Mm-hmm. There is something about that shot that it's one of those moments in all of Little House on the Prairie that it's a standout moment. Like that is as a fan and as a viewer, that is a moment that would took your breath away, and it's permanently in the brain there. There are a few of those, Nellie going down in the chair. That's a snapshot moment, right? We will never not have that image in our brains. And you rising from that wheelchair is another one. It's a really big deal. Just so you know, for the fans, it's a huge one. Big one. Big.
I even felt it like the choking up when the shot of the house and when you see him and she sees him. I went, oh, here we go. This is
there's something about that wide shot with the posts of the house up and the trees in the back, and then that wide shot, full body of you standing in that. It's not a close up. It's I don't know. There's something about the way that they shot it.
It was a very cinematic. It was a very cinematic approach to a moment like that.
Yes,
particularly in a 4:3 environment where, it was really not designed. Yes, we saw lots of beautiful wide shots, but Michael was not afraid of those wide shots. He knew he was going to get inside quickly, but he always wanted to show the world. That the audience could see this world that they were in. It needed to have size and expanse.
Yeah.
And in some cases, vast expanse, desolation, all beauty in wide shots. This was this thing where you're seeing Pa standing there, Almanzo in the wheelchair, the framed house. It's nowhere near done, but something's been accomplished here. And it's the first time we see it. I mean, all the building of the house is in pieces, close-ups. You see walls going up, hammering, sawing, all stuff that's fun to do when you're the guy who's had a hammer in your hands his whole life. You get to swing the hammer and show you can do that. And then you see it.
And the symbolism of the house, of the house going up. Also, can we mention so many children? Laura and Almanzo, they make up, and then we see the wagon, Ma and Pa, and the wagon just full of children. So many children, all the children.
How many children at this point in the show? Oh my James!
It's too many kids, y'all. It's too many kids. It's so many children in that wagon, and it was so jarring. Like, oh, they're all there. Got it.
It totally jarred me too. I saw the wagon and went, where'd they all go?
And it's the first time in the episode that you see them all.
Yes.
I mean, they're there maybe, even in all these scenes at the little house, the children are sort of mysteriously not around. They're around.
Yeah,
in the beginning. You see James.
Albert in the very beginning, but that's it. So then all of a sudden when they pan to that wagon, and it's just a wagon o' kids.
Yes.
It's jarring.
Yeah. Well, it's family time, and the family is back. Everything is as it should be.
Oh,
there's love and happiness.
Yes, go on, Allison.
You're going to go there.
No, go on.
How did Ma Ma, how did she fix the plate? How?
I don't know. It's a total mystery. Well, also the fact that as it comes, what I love is that she's like, speaking of plate, here it is. It's just like, was she waiting for someone to bring up the plate to have that moment? Apparently she was.
Maybe someone who wasn't expected will show up.
Speaking of plate, here it is. I don't know. How did she fix the plate?
How did she fix it? There wasn't crazy glue there was stuff to glue, but it's like perfect. There's perfect. You can't, she clearly went and got another one, but how did she make it look like it never happened? I don't know.
That's the magic of the prairie.
Thank goodness for doubles. That's all you can say.
She had a spare one. Maybe she did have one for Carrie later down the line. I don't know. Maybe she had multiple bread plates. Maybe Mary did get a bread plate after all.
There's a dozen of them in the attic.
Yeah, she needs more with all the children she has now. But yes,
Cassandra's getting one.
Yeah.
This all worked out well, and everyone is welcomed back. There's Liza, all the hurt feelings with Eliza are
more awkward
put away.
There's
It's everyone understands why this happened. You see that, and it's all good, which is the Little House way. It's all good.
And then the last shot goes to the star of the show, the geranium. The magical.
It's amazing.
Magical.
It's amazing. I wonder how when you're breaking a story.
Yes.
How I wonder who bravely pitched that.
I know.
And then that became a really great idea.
Yeah.
And it works. The geranium works. It works. It totally works.
Oh, it totally works.
Who's that geranium?
It's unusual.
Who is that geranium's agent? They did really good by that show.
Yeah.
I think we should really focus on the geranium. Somebody had to, it had to be Michael.
The geranium is the geranium's the metaphor, and there we go.
The geranium's metaphor.
Yeah.
Did Michael say, and then we cut back to the geranium.
Yeah. It came off you come to the wide shot, there's the wheelchair there, so the wheelchair is retired.
The wheelchair on the side.
Long, slow pan across to push to the geranium. And
Michael loves
it
like
works.
That. Okay.
It works.
Lord is my shepherd.
Yes.
Half pint spin in the mountains with Jonathan, who might be God. Ernest Borgnine is God or an angel. We're not sure what is happening here. And he is a supernatural being. And now he is God. And he's found her paw. And what is the last thing? We go back to the dove. We go back to the little dove. And it's gotten better. The dove was wounded. He was healing its wing. And the dove is now better and flies away. Because everything's okay now. And now the dove. And that's the end of the show. They cut to the dove.
Poetic.
So that's a thing. There have been episodes where it now cut to the, potato, whatever the thing. And it was
potato.
It's just
the writer's room. You guys, we need to focus on the potato. No, I know. Who knows? The geranium might have starred in other episodes of the Waltons, or perhaps
was it on
Circus of the Stars, or yes.
Was
go IMDb that geranium.
His name is Stu. I don't know.
The geranium saved the day, and it all worked out. And
it all worked out, and
so
we're
grateful.
happy, and they're building a new life, and that's the Prairie way, quite frankly.
Exactly.
And incredibly poetic and lovely. These episodes are great. 10 out of 10 in my book. 10 out of 10.
Well, and Pamela, that makes me feel so much better that you would react that way to it. When I watched it the other night, I was so despairing, thinking, "Oh my God."
I used to like this episode.
That's what he said before we recorded. I used to like this episode. What? Are you
now I like it. Now I feel better about it again because of this conversation.
How do you feel about episode 2 then? Did you feel the same way about the second part?
No. I think the second part, because there's redemption in the second part. I think in the structure of network, an episodic television, you're used to a payoff at the end of an episode. There was no payoff. This is why we do part 2.
Right.
So there had to be a redemption. It was just this relentless descent into despair
Yes.
and misery and giving up and self-pity and like, oh my God,
But listen,
enough already.
So real, because I thought it was real, because what happens when in real life, when people are hurt,
yes,
and they're going to have
Sure.
a financial burden and the physical burden, and maybe they're not going to get better. And you know what? People do lose it, and people
Yeah.
do act out and say terrible things, and people do wallow. I mean, people who do physical therapy at places where people have had severe injury in the hospital and they have to get them back on their feet, or people who've lost a limb, and the people who have to work with them, teach them to walk. Do you know what they go through? I
Yeah.
mean, they go through all the phases of the people yelling at them like, no, I'm not going to walk. Leave me alone. This is what goes on. People go through this. And so it's very real. And families make utter fools of themselves when
Yeah.
someone is hurt and do dumb things, thinking they're helping. This is what
Yeah.
goes on. So
Yeah.
it's legit.
And just know, when we see in the opening title credits part 1 after any title,
Sure.
we
Sure.
know we're in for a wild ride. Like, it is, when you see that part 1 as a fan, as a viewer, you're like, oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be epic. Like, you know, you're in it for the long haul. It's gonna be a journey. You're on a journey. So part 1 was just the journey, man.
It was a long, it was a long journey to
Long
as part ones go. It was a longer part
It
one.
was.
I guess that's what I was reacting to as much as anything else. Is there's just no relief in that, but that does set you up
It does.
for a big turn.
Yeah,
in the
for the
second half.
complete
So I'm glad we had the
satisfaction
big
in the
turn. Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Of
Well, I'm
course.
glad you're
Well,
feeling
like I said,
better
it's a
about it.
show that's famous for cramming huge emotional, disastrous stuff into one episode. So, right, you see part 1. Oh, no, it's Little House on the Prairie, and it's going to take them 2 episodes to destroy
through
me.
this.
How bad is this going to
Yeah,
get?
it's gonna get bad.
Yeah.
Things are gonna get real bad, real
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
That's it. So don't feel bad about it. It's
No,
it's
no,
a
I do.
top.
No, I
It's a
don't. I
top.
feel much better. I feel much better about it now. I think we have done this.
We've done it.
And-
It's
and
over.
thank you. And Pamela, I don't know if Allison, it was you suggested this, or Pamela, this was
I
your
suggested
suggestion.
this.
So I think this is.
Yes,
I mean,
you
thank
know.
you for suggesting it.
Thank you.
I'm glad we did a Dean-centric 2-parter. That's very exciting.
Very fun.
Okay, and who knows? We'll see what we do next time. Anyway, thanks guys for joining us. Join us on our socials, Little House 50 Podcast, or our website, littlehouse50podcast.com. All of our events and doings and goings on are going to be in our show notes and those sites if you want to go to that. Our live event podcast in New York City is November 22nd. Tickets should be available, y'all. They should be available.
Any minute, any second.
God, yes. And we will see you next time. We've done it. Bob, go get the wig. Let's fly. Without a wheelchair this time.
Yeah. Thank
My
you.
wheelchair was nicer.
Your wheelchair was
Yes.
good. Yes.
Yeah. Why did you have a better wheelchair?
I'm rich.
Oh, well.